Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to be working on our first grammar lesson, which is parts of speech, kind of the building blocks of grammar here. Now with this video I'm going to be going very quickly as I type this out, but remember that you can always pause and just take notes as I'm typing them out and working at your own pace here. That's the whole point of this. As long as you get the notes done, everything's fine. You don't have to rush through them. Now with parts of speech, I'm going to be using a very famous movie known as Legally Blonde. It's one of my, not one of my favorites, but it's a very, very good movie. It's definitely one of my favorite Reese Witherspoon movies, I'll say that. The part of speech indicates how the word functions in meaning as well as grammatically. How does it work within a sentence, right? How does it work within a paragraph? Now, there are 8 types. I need you to know that. There are 8 types, or sorry, 8 parts of speech. Now, our first one is one of the more common, well, not common, one of the ones that we are usually pretty good with. It describes, adjectives, describes, learn how to type, describes a noun or a pronoun. Now, we'll talk about pronouns here in a second. Pronouns are tricky, but they reference back to nouns. So, for example, Elle's boyfriend broke up with her. That's a pronoun. Who's it referencing? Elle, because she, that's a pronoun. Who's it referencing? Elle again. Okay. But blonde here is what's describing Elle, right? Blonde is what's describing Elle. Now, verbs are one of the simpler ones as well, like adjectives. But there is a catch here with verbs. I'm going to talk about it here. So it expresses an action or a being. And this is where it gets tricky, is this being here. Now, there are all these being, like to be verbs, right? These linking verbs, these helping verbs, these to be verbs. Now, with these verbs, they exist all the time. You just saw one right here. Was blonde, right? That's a being verb. She was being that. It's very tricky to like grasp it. It's kind of like the more only like a real abstract thing sometimes when it comes to grammar, but understanding that these are some of these are some of the most common verbs that you are going to see. What I'm asking you to do is somewhere on your notes around verbs, you you write out these verbs. If you write out these verbs and when I check your notes, you show me this, I will give you 5 behavior points. Yes, 5 behavior points for literally writing out this list of words. Okay, and it shows me that you're listening. Oh, I forgot to, we don't have a to be verb in this sentence, but we do have decided and we have applied. Okay, so moving on. Adverbs. Adverbs are tricky. Adverbs are pretty tricky. Okay, but not impossible. So, and there's a trick with them. So adverbs describe or they modify a verb. Okay, that's one of the most common ways they're used, but they can also modify an adjective, and here's where again, tricky, they can modify an adverb. So a tip here usually ends in ly. Not always, but usually they end in ly. So because they usually end in ly, they are sometimes easy to spot. Like here, Elle friend started to take her goals seriously. Pretty easy to spot that there. And then lively. Okay, now sometimes these can be adjectives, so that's why it's not like a foolproof plan with the adverbs, but no one's really coming at you about adverbs and adjectives. They're coming at you for nouns and verbs and pronouns. So when in conjunctions. So when we see nouns, we always seem to be able to recall person, place, thing, idea. But we are then tasked to find them, and we are like, what? Huh? I don't know what they are. So a person is any person, anyone. Any person is a noun. That is it. Plain and simple. They are a noun. They are a person. Any place, any single place you can think of, it's a noun. Anything, any object, anything that's not a person or a place. And then ideas. Ideas are really gets tricky because sometimes we don't know ideas. Like love is an idea. Determination is an idea. Darkness is an idea. So any of the ideas. So moving into pronouns. Pronouns are far and away get where it gets really, really tricky. The reason why pronouns are where it gets really, really tricky is it's a word used in place of a noun. But there are some really, really tricky ones known as like indefinite pronouns. We're not going to talk about those right now. But here we have she. We also have, I thought there was her in here too. Oh no, there's it. It and she both refer back, both are pronouns. But when we get into like certain, like everyone, no one, someone, everything, everybody. It gets kind of tricky with subject-verb agreement, but just know that pronouns take the place of nouns. Now, prepositions are confusing to a lot of people, but they shouldn't be. A word used to link nouns, pronouns, or phrases to other words within a sentence. It acts to connect the people, object, time, and locations of a sentence. That's what it does. So looking here, Elle walked towards the list of law interns for the big case with confidence, right? Elle walked towards. We are going somewhere. We're letting you know where we are going. It's linking the list to Elle. And then with is showing you that she did it with confidence, right? She showed you as she walked towards, she did it with confidence. Okay, two left, and I'm further. It's longer than I want it to be, and I'm sorry for that. So a word interjection used to express emotion. That's all they are. Oh wow, that's it. Oh wow. A lot of times they'll have exclamation points. Interjections are usually pretty easy to spot, and they will interrupt certain things at times. And then our last one, which I know you guys have heard before, especially if you've had me, conjunctions join words, phrases, clauses. I'm thinking about conjunction, junction, what's your function, as I think of that, because that's exactly what they say in that song for Schoolhouse Rock. Use fanboys, which we should know by now, right, to remember your conjunctions: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. People didn't believe in her, but. Okay, we're going to be reviewing compound sentences. We're going to be reviewing well, hold on. Now, there are other conjunctions. They are known as subordinating conjunctions. Some of you have learned this if you've had me. I know you've learned this if you had Miss Holloway. They're tricky, okay? But we'll talk about them. But these are it, okay? These are your notes. We want you, hopefully this is Monday. If you got past this early enough on Monday, I want you moving into the practice. Come get it from me. But if not, we'll get to the practice on Tuesday. If you have any questions, as always, thank you for watching. And please make sure that you bring these up to me so I can check these notes and give you those 5 behavior points for what again? Something with verbs. Okay. Thank you, guys.